South Africa have completed a dominant victory against Afghanistan in the opening Champions Trophy match. 107 runs they beat Afghanistan today. And me as a fan, I am extremely happy with the way that we performed in this match. Overall, South Africa were fantastic. I can't really fault them in this game. I think they had a complete performance. I think they had a magnificent performance with the bat, and they backed it up with the ball. But I have to say, Afghanistan were very poor in their decision making, very poor in the way that they approached the game. So ultimately, both sides, South Africa were brilliant. Afghanistan didn't come to the party. And we kind of knew, we said this beforehand, that we don't know what type of Afghanistan is going to be present in this match. The one thing about South Africa is that on their day, they can beat anybody. But similarly with Afghanistan, on their day, they can beat anybody as well. But South Africa went fantastic. And I have to applaud the players. I have to applaud the captain for the way he managed the side. There was a lot of talk, obviously, before the game, and you know what that was about, but we'll get into that later on the show. But before we get going, before we get started with today's show, I would like you guys to please do a couple of things for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, click that notification bell for all future videos, smash the like button, comment, share, and also download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is right now on the screen as well as in the description. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I am really looking forward to discussing this one with you guys. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your live cricket show, your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and today we're going to be discussing the dominant performance by South Africa in the opening match against Afghanistan. Champions Trophy is on the way. South Africa performed extremely well, and there was a lot of talking points. But I'm going to start off the show right at the beginning with congratulating Ryan Rickleton for his amazing ton on debut. His maiden, not on debut, his maiden, sorry, on debut, his maiden ODI ton for South Africa in ODI, obviously in this particular format. Fantastic performance by Ryan Rickleton. There were a lot of people a little bit skeptical about whether he should start or whether he shouldn't. I made it very clear in my preview show that he should get the nod over maybe some other players. He had to play. He had to perform. He's in incredible form currently. He's in incredible nick across all formats he's been performing. So I thought that this was the perfect time for him to get an opportunity. You don't waste opportunities like this. When you have players that are performing across all formats, you play them because the chances of them scoring runs for you is magnified. And that is something that South Africa did. That is something that Rob did. But was it forced? Was their hand forced? Now, when the team news broke, we saw that Heinrich Klaassen was out injured. He has an issue with his elbow, tissue in his elbow. And as a precautionary measure, they decided not to select Heinrich Klaassen. And that kind of made Rob's decision a lot easier. And I think he's a little bit lucky there as well, because it would have been interesting to see what he would have went with if Heinrich Klaassen was fit. Who would he have dropped in place of Ryan Rickleton? Or who would have Ryan Rickleton come in for? That would have been the big question in today's match. And unfortunately for him, he didn't have to make that decision. Now, I have to say, with regards to the bowling attack, given this particular match, they got it spot on. Lungingiri had a good game today. Even though after 1 over, he looked already like he had bowled five, that is a big issue for me with regards to Lungingiri. But I'm going to get into the match first and foremost before I get into the live chat. And if you guys want to call in on the show, let me know and I'll put the live link in the live chat for you guys so that you can call in on the show. I did not pin it to the live chat today because I'm going to try and keep the show a little bit shorter because I do have a couple of things that I need to do still today. But if you guys do want to call in, let me know in the live chat and I will send you the live link so you can have a chat on today's show. But let's get into the game. Let's get into the match. For those that didn't get the chance to watch it, this is an opportunity for you guys to maybe just catch up to see what happened. So, as you can see over there, Ryan Rickleton, man of the match for this particular, or player of the match, we should rather say, for his 103 of 106 balls. But let's get into what happened in the game. So first and foremost, the game started in South Africa's favor with a toss because South Africa won the toss and they did exactly what we wanted them to do, what I spoke about in the preview show, what you guys spoke about in the preview show in the live chat. Bat first. If this South African team gets an opportunity to win the toss, they should bat first, and that's exactly what they did on a slower Karachi wicket. And we didn't get the best of starts. Tony Dezorzi ended up losing his wicket for 11, and that was not a good start from a South African perspective because this has been now going on for some time now recently with Tony Dezorzi's form. He hasn't been in the best of form in South African colours. He's been getting 20s and on a constant basis. Has been going out in his 20s normally. But in this particular match, he went out on 11. And at that particular time, South Africa it was looking a little bit bleak for them, losing their first wicket in the sixth over. South Africa won 28 for 1 at that point. And then obviously I did want them to perform, and I wanted Tony Dezorzi to perform in this particular match. But unfortunately, he didn't. Now, it's going to be very interesting what happens when Andy Klaasen comes back. Who's the one that's going to make way? Because the rest of the top order performed. And it will be, from that perspective, if you're going to pick on form, you can only really pick between Tony Dezorzi and maybe David Miller from today's match to drop from the game, because they were the two that didn't perform today. But when you have so many batters scoring milestones, that's a cricket game for you. You don't normally get a match where so many people have performed. But Temba Bavuma came to the wicket, and the pair were fantastic. They put on 129 of 142 balls, Ryan Rickleton and Temba Bavuma. Temba getting a 58, another half century as a captain. I'm so happy that in the opening game of this tournament, Bavuma has scored runs and contributed to his team's performance with the bat, because I know that the critics would have been waiting for Bavuma to fail. And they probably will be still saying a few things about him currently, even though he got a half century. They'll be praising Rassie, they'll be praising Aiden, but they'll be criticizing Temba. And that is still the case if you go on social media platforms in certain areas. That's still the case with regards to that. Sorry, guys, I just need to plug this in before I give it a shot. No. Cool. Okay, so at that stage, Bavuma lost his wicket at 157 for 2 in the last ball of the 29th over. And I thought, okay, that's a bad time to lose the wicket. And normally when one wicket falls, another falls. But this time around, it didn't fall as quickly as other times. Ryan Rickleton batted with Rassie van der Dussen, and Ryan brought up his 100. Fantastic performance by Ryan Rickleton all around. A solid innings, 97 strike rate, 7 fours, 1 6, 103 of 106 balls. And aided by Rassie van der Dussen, who got 52 of 46 balls, 3 fours and 2 sixes, a strike rate of 113. Brilliant performance by Rassie van der Dussen, batting in that number 4 position for South Africa. and he was absolutely fantastic. The next wicket was obviously Ryan Rickleton. He lost his wicket, and it was quite unlucky because he double stepped, danced down the wicket, hit it straight to Rashid, who was bowling to him, and and unfortunately Rashid threw the ball back directly into the stumps, and yeah, and directly to the keeper who stumped Ryan Rickleton. He dived and got back in time, but his bat was in the air. We were waiting for the moment when that will actually happen. I don't remember seeing an instance like this where the player makes his ground, but the bat is in the air, and he's comfortably behind the crease, but the bat is in the air. That's the new rule, was there to be able to make sure that if that happens, that you're out. And that's what happened to Ryan Rickleton. And it was very unlucky and very unfortunate because he worked hard to dive back and get into the crease, but couldn't put his bat down. Bat was in the air, so he lost his wicket just as South Africa passed the 200-run mark. Then Aiden Markram. I have to applaud Aiden Markram for how he batted towards the end of this match. He came obviously in the 36th over, and he batted fantastically. And even though he lost wickets around him, Rassie van der Dussen in the 43rd over, after his 52, he lost David Miller. Shortly after that, in the 48th over, Marco Jansen for a duck shortly after that. In the next over, obviously the 49th over. But Aiden Markram batted through till the end. 52 of 36 balls, not out, 6 fours, 1 6, 144.44 strike rate. Exactly what you wanted from Aiden Markram at the back end in this particular match. He took on that Klassen role and he impressed. Congratulations and well done to Aiden Markram for the innings that he put in today. South Africa then ended up with 315 for 6 after 50 overs. Batted at a strike rate of 6.30, which is very decent in this particular match. Then Afghanistan went out to bat, and it was pretty simple for South Africa. They took wickets at the regular intervals. As you can see here, they struck in the 4th over, then in the 10th over, then in the 14th over, they took a wicket, then in the 15th over, then in the 23rd over, then in the 29th over, then in the 35th over, 38th over, and the 43rd over, and then again in the 44th over. So at regular intervals, they took wickets. And Afghanistan couldn't capitalize on those periods that South Africa went a little bit, that South Africa didn't take wickets. They couldn't capitalize by stringing partnerships together. I mean, and Giri got a wicket, got the big wicket of Gurbaz, but it's and that's how the wicket started. Gurbaz dismissed, and it was a bit of a nothing wicket because Ngidi bowled it almost down leg side, and he kind of edged it, or it hit the top of the bat, and then went to Maharaj. And then the second wicket fell, and this time it was Ibrahim Zadran that fell, and it was Rabada that bowled him with a fantastic delivery. And at that stage, when they were at 38 for 2, we all knew that Afghanistan would be in trouble, because I've always said, if you can get Afghanistan's opening pair early on, it's almost set up for victory for the team that has done so. So they did that extremely well. South Africa struck at regular periods and took wickets at regular periods. The only person they really had a problem with, as you can see here, is Rahmat Shah, who got 90, but Rabada dismissed him in the end. Last wicket to fall to win the game for South Africa. But overall, a clinical performance from South Africa. I think they bowled really well on this wicket. They bowled to the conditions 100%, back of the length, made it very difficult for Afghanistan to play free-flowing cricket. And in the end, South Africa won by a massive 107 runs. Fantastic performance by South Africa, clinical win. I'm extremely happy with the boys and the way they performed. So we go into the next match, obviously, with a lot of confidence. So yeah, I'm extremely happy with the way we performed today, and I want to know what you guys think of the game. Um, it's just something that we need to obviously discuss. So I see a lot of comments in the live chat. Let's get straight into the live chat and see what you guys have had to say. Okay, Sam says next match the Zosi out in Klassen in. PBG3 says if Klassen is fit, another game and the Proteas will be in semi. Australia game should be a good to win. Great to see someone using the crease that good. Only concern isn't Gidi economy, right? Yeah, he was a bit expensive as well. He was getting targeted a bit, and then it's almost like he got relief wickets that just took the pressure off him a little bit at certain periods when he was starting to get hit around a bit. And that is a little bit of a concern, but I hope that he gets fitter and fitter because I think with him it's a match fitness problem more than an actual fitness problem. Um, okay, yes, he does have a little bit. He is quite a big lad at the moment. He has put on a little bit of weight, but he started to lean down and then he started got injured again, and I think he did pick up a little bit more weight. But I think as the tournament gets along, he'll get a little bit more match fitness, and I think we'll start to see him grow in this tournament, and that's what I'm hoping. SA17 says finally Rickerton showing his class, fulfilling his true potential, a genuine match winner for South Africa in all formats. For the next match, we must drop to Zorzi and play Klaassen, and would love to see Stubbs in the playing 11 as well. I wish we could see Stubbs in the playing 11, but it's where we're going to put him if he does get selected. Like I said in a previous video, if he does get selected, I believe he should be selected at 3, Rassi at 4. But then you're going to have to push players down, and then David Miller has to be left out. Then in that case, and David Miller is an awesome soldier for South Africa. But so is Tony Dezorzi. He just hasn't been in great form recently, and unfortunately, they're going to have to make a decision with regards to that because they can't drop Rickerton. That would be a massive shock to everybody if that happens. Rickerton has earned his spot. The way he's performed across formats, all formats, for South Africa as well as in the SA20 as well, I think he's deserved a spot and a starting position in this side. Tex said we should play Bosch for Ngidi. Lawrence Bailey says dominant display. So happy. We should not get carried away. However, this was a poor Afghanistan side. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be happy because we should, but without thinking too far ahead. Yeah, we need to obviously calm down, take it game. Like I said, we should take it game by game. Be happy about this, but now we put it behind us and we move on to the next match. It's Australia next, guys. So anything can happen in knockout events when you play Australia. NY Times Square says, so just like 23 World Cup tactics is using Ngidi ahead of Rabada. Lawrence says, Ryan Nicholson showed why he should be one of the first names in the Proteas 11 going forward. He was magnificent. Wesley says, Ngidi was really impressive today. Pace was back in the 140s. He did bowl well today, I must say. There was periods where he was a little bit when he was a little bit expensive, but he pulled it back nicely, and I think that is really nice to see from a fast bowler when they do pull back after they've been hit to the boundary, etc. I would still want to play Bosch in place of Ngidi and Klaassen for the Zorzi, says Sarath. Ryan is the new GOAT, haha. Cody Rhodes. Talha says, I think Bosch would be a good fit with his extra pace and can contribute with bat also. I really hope they play him. Bosch is inconsistent with the ball though. I did say that Lungingini on these particular wickets, extremely tricky to play against, but only if he's in his element, because he tends to be able to put the ball in good areas. And when he can put the ball in good areas, he's extremely difficult to play with his change-ups and the steep bounce that he sometimes gets back of the length. He's very good at bowling that delivery. Wesley says, who misses out when Klaassen comes back? It looks like Miller at the moment. I think that it would be Tony Dezorzi that misses out and not Miller. But we'll have to wait and see what Rob Bolter would do. Sarat says, Ryan is absolute masterclass. He scores a double century in a test match and performs brilliantly in the T20s and now made an ICC ODI 100. He can't do anything wrong at the moment. Ryan's in incredible form. And when a player is in that great form, you just have to pick him, like I said on my previous show. NY Times Square says Ryan is better batter in every format in whole what in whole world for 2025. Tala says, I'm happy that Ryan played well today. Otherwise, we would have been dropped in the next game for Klaassen. Tex says Ryan should start in every single format from now on. In my time, because I think he used Klaassen injury to make, huh? Shout out between Tony and Ryan for opening. Else Tristan was ready. Please, bro. I struggle to read your comments sometimes. Please try to fix it. Lawrence, I see some people saying Gidi was impressive. I don't think he was. Yeah, he picked up 2 wickets, but he was nowhere near the level we know he can reach. Always bowled 2 boundary deliveries each over. And I did say that. I said that, yes, he took 2 wickets, but he wasn't consistent enough. We haven't seen the best of him. And if he can bowl at his best, then he'll be very dangerous. So that is still a little bit of an asterisk next to Ngidi, but he bowled okay today. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it was okay. And we should hold high standards for our players when we talk about them and criticize them. Dennis Pilgrim says, congratulations, brothers. Well done. All the best with your upcoming 2 games ahead. Ryan, job well done, young man. Keep up that great performance. Another South African rising star player. Great job. Pollock, Lawrence says Pollock in pre-match show made mention of the fact that Tony was the one who came in for Klaassen, not Rix. Makes sense too, because even if Henrik Klaassen played, I don't think he would have kept because of the injury. Lawrence says Ngidi went at 7 runs per over in 8 overs. That's not impressive. Even Timber got frustrated with him today. Yeah, and I agree with you there. He didn't bowl at his best today. Did I say that? I don't think I did. I think you might have gotten a little bit of an understanding. Khalid, misunderstanding. Khalid, who do you fear more, England or Australia? Australia, purely because of Australia's mentality in tournaments. At the moment, I know they're a little bit weaker from a bowling side, but Australia in tournaments has found a way to win. It's just, this is what it is. Racing van der Dussen was really good. He normally gets criticism for how slow he starts, but today he got going right from the get-go. He really has picked up his strike rate in the last 8 to 12 months. Happy for him. Very happy for him, and that is very true. He has really upped his game when it comes to the way he bats. That's what I love about Rassie van der Dussen, is he gets criticized, he listens to the criticism, he accepts the criticism, and then he goes and adapts his game and says, okay, cool, I accept that I have this issue, let me go try and fix it. And then he does. And he's done that. And Rassie's a great person, a wonderful cricketer, and he deserves his opportunity in this particular trophy, Champions Trophy. He's earned his spot in the side. Wesley says Markham in the middle order can win us the Champions Trophy. Fearless batter when he's playing with that fearlessness. Yeah. Lauren says Aiden just knows how to get runs in ICC events. The last T20 World Cup was his first event where he didn't do well. His tournament record for South Africa is really good, something that goes under the radar. That's true. That is very, very true. Wesley says Rabada was bowling with real pace and fire. He really had some words for Ibrahim Zadran. Yeah, he bowled very good. Very well. Very good. He bowled very well today, and he needs the credit for that. Well done to KG today. He was really dangerous. Kept his line and lengths really good. Really, what I loved about KG the most today is how he utilized the conditions and the wicket. He really bowled he bowled according to the conditions. What I mean by that is that the pitch dictated you to bowl in a certain way, and he implemented that to perfection, consistently. Star Trek says, should we drop Ngidi for Stubbs or Corbin? Maybe. I don't think it can be for Stubbs, because we're going to need that extra bowler in our team. Ngidi 8 overs played a massive difference with regards to the workloads that are shared amongst the team. So I do believe that even Ngidi gets dropped must be either for Shamo or Corbin, dependable on what we're going to do. I am concerned a little bit about Corbin Bosch's consistency. He does bowl extremely quick, but he does tend to miss his lines and lengths quite often. And I'm just a little bit worried about that for in a tournament if we can risk that. Ahmad said, if Klaassen returns, would Rob drop Tazozi for Ryan after this performance? Well, according to Pollock, uh, it was Tony that came in for Heinrich, and Ryan would have started anyway, which is what I predicted, or what my team was initially. But we'll never know now. SA17 says we need to drop Ngidi and play Corbin Bosch. Shamsi, I would go with Corbin, but the only disadvantage is that Corbin lacks experience in ODI format. Stark says, but Corbin can bat, so it would be an advantage. Um, yeah, he can bat, but he's no Vian Mulder, I think, with the bat. They're completely different. Um, and I've saw people say that, yeah, but Corbin can make it up with the bat. It doesn't always work out like that. He needs to bowl well first for me. I don't want a scenario where he's not taking wickets because or he's not bowling accurate enough and he leaks runs, because that puts pressure on everybody else. Um, and then when he comes out the bat, he makes it up. I don't think that should be the way we should look at things. Lana says Rabada needs to get a lot of credit. His ODI record gets unnoticed. 168 wickets in 104 matches is up there with the very best. Yes, it is. 100%. Prashant said Mulder should bat above Janssen. He should. He definitely should. If Avuma scores at a strike rate of 90 plus, our batting is best in the tournament. Pratik says, I have concern around Bavuma. He can get stuck in sometimes, like today, he played around 10 balls in the middle overs and scored just two. Doesn't have that power game and ended up with a strike rate of 76. Next game, ran into for Zozi, Shamji Bosch in the place of Ngidi. Lawrence says, against Australia, we need to eat them with spin. Remember when we played them in SA and at the semi-final last World Cup, they struggled against the wrist spin of Shamsi. They don't play spin well, so Ngidi probably misses out. Yeah, that is something that we need to discuss as well. Ahmed Sham says bowling second gave us the advantage because of the cracks on the pitch. Lawrence says, not attacking you on the Ngidi comments, Khalid. I replied to some of the chat, love a lot. I've not given up on Ngidi, by the way. He's a massive player for us. If he's at his best, he's a real match winner. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes sometimes I misunderstand the comments because sometimes you guys are speaking to each other. I agree with you on those comments. I'm a big believer in Ngidi. I've always supported him, backed him for many, many, many years. But when he's not fit and not 100% fit, you can see it. You can tell in the way he's breathing on the field or walking on the field. You can tell in his deliveries, and when he starts to get expensive. Because one of Ngidi's traits in the past, when he's in his top form, is that he is economical. He can really tie down batters and take wickets at crucial stages of a match. So that is something that we need to take into consideration. I do believe that he can do it. Yeah, guys, a very long day. I spent the entire morning at Western Province. We did an exclusive behind the scenes shoot with the women's team. I interviewed Kayla Reinicke, Faye Tunnicliffe, and yeah, I'm starting to feel it now. And then came home and then straight away had to cover this match. So I'm really, really tired, as you guys can see. So yeah, I'm going to have to call it very soon. I'm just going to read a couple of more live chats and then I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. Shouldn't Bavuma open considering his strike rate? I believe that that's what should happen. But today, Ryan Rickelton and Tony Rizorzi, I felt, Tony could have batted at 3, actually, and Timba could have opened. Um, so that could have been another option if they want to think about things. Paul Terry, how much longer can we tolerate Zozi in the team? We need for tournaments like this, we have to pick guys on form. We can't still try to play people into form. We tried to do that with Riza Hendricks in the tournament not so long ago, and it didn't work. Um, so we need to also pick players that if players are in incredible form or in the form that like someone like Ryan was in, you pick him, and yeah, that's the way things should go. Donna says, why are people going off on Timber? He played his role really well. It was quite tricky up front, and Nabi bowled well. That partnership between him and Hicks was a massive plus. That was the most important partnership. So whoever's going off the Timber, I'm sorry, you are being, I don't want to swear. Let me try to find a word that's that's not a swear word. You're being unnecessary. That is like a nice way to say it. You're being unnecessary. Like if a girl that you're dating wants to swear you out, but they don't want to swear you out, then they like to tell you you're being unnecessary. So like you sit here, I don't know what I'm saying. You're being unnecessary if you are going after Bavuma. I think Bavuma's innings today was solid, and it was extremely important for the context of this game. If we didn't perform the way it did, that partnership of 129 was crucial and pivotal for South Africa to set up the innings for the rest of the batters. So I don't know why people are criticizing Bavuma. Actually, we do know why. Uh, Vazudev says Bavuma is solid at number 3 along with his Fernandez attack. 4 makes the middle order classy. I like that. Pratik says this is if the Proteas make it to top 4, I hope they go all the way. They need to have the mindset that the business end of tournament starts at the later stages. Rana says Rob could have played Stubbs ahead of Tony, but in my opinion, I think he picked Tony and purposefully paired him with Ryan at the top as a shootout between the two. That's an interesting take. Star Trek says I think that was purely because of who he was more like who's more experienced in the ODI format. I think that's the way he went with that. That's why I picked Tony. Star Trek says I think SA20 is the reason why SA is performing in big events. I believe it's possibly could be. It's maybe perhaps to an extent changed people's mentalities. When they're coming into that pressure situations. I think it definitely help players get in form. But my only concern is when we miss out on Proteas matches because of the SA20. So Rob is benefiting from the form that players are picking up in the SA20. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Please smash the like button, comment, and share. And don't forget to download the magazine, please. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Every issue is 100% free straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the description. I haven't spoken about the One Day Cup because there's a game like every day. Let me just go through some of the performances that took place today in the One Day Cup. If you guys want to hear that. Let me try to find it. One Day Cup. Yo, I didn't even look at the One Day Cup today. What's the date today, guys? 21st. So the Lions scored 300 against the Titans, and they're most likely going to win that match. But the Lions, Zubair Hamza scored 68. Riza Hendry scored 94. Um, Halim is taking a hell of a lot of wickets. He got 4 for 73 today. So a good performance by the Lions today with a bat, 300 for 949 overs. Someone probably got injured. And then the Titans are batting, and Luandra Pretoria's got 44, but they're currently batting to try and chase down the total. So that's today's one-day cup. So far, the Boland is doing really well, won 2 games out of 2. And Western Province lost 1 and won 1. Yeah, and that's basically it. Lions won 1, and they're playing now, so we'll see what happens over there as well. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks a lot for the support and everything on these shows. I really do appreciate it. It really helps me out a lot it really makes me happy to see people in the live chat every night when I do speak. But I'll see you guys again very, very soon with another live cricket preview show ahead of the next match against Australia. Please click the notification bell to get notified on when we go live. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend, everybody.